Well, I have said it and I maintain, Charles, there's no democracy in Nigeria today. Nigeria today is not a democratic country. Let's stop telling ourselves lies. If you look at all the tenets, look at all the yardstick of measuring democracy, it doesn't exist here.
Peter Obi was on Arise TV yesterday for an interview. As usual, he was able to tackle the APC government over their mismanagement of Nigeria. One thing that was evident in the interview is how bold and emphatic Obi is becoming. I think he is becoming more comfortable with being opposition and damning whatever consequences. I think he is realizing that being opposition sometimes requires shaking some tables. It was beautiful to watch as usual. Let me share some clips, then we talk again.
Well, I have said it and I maintain, Charles, there's no democracy in Nigeria today. Nigeria today is not a democratic country. Let's stop telling ourselves lies. If you look at all the tenets, look at all the yardstick of measuring democracy, it doesn't exist here. Simple definition, democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. Today, the government we have is not of the people. It's not by the people because the people didn't vote. It wasn't their votes. I'm not just talking about presidency. Across the line, look at what happened in Edo. Can you call that democracy? It is not vote of the people. And it's not for the people. I've just told you that I went to an IDP camp where we have thousands of people, no primary health care. They were begging me to have one nurse, which I said I must make sure. They don't even have primary school, which again I told them I will make sure it happens. So what are you doing for a country that just spent 21 billion naira to renovate a house for the vice president, which is not, hasn't packed in, is not living there, and you cannot even have a primary school for kids who are going to be leaders of Nigeria tomorrow. For people who pass through the same process, tonight deny these kids this opportunity today. So it is not a democratic country. So it's not for the people. You can't have a democracy without a functional and effective legislature, which you know we don't have today. You can't have a democracy without, again, an independent judiciary that fights for the common person. I can go on and on. In a democracy, it is clear. There's guidelines. Even when you set for people vying for election, like in Nigerian case, you have to talk about people must be qualified. They must have primary school, secondary school, university, and must attain certain age. Charles, that is not happening today. People are with unverified, forged certificates all over the place, criminal records and everything, and they're in charge. So you cannot say that. It is, yes, maybe we're striving to be a democratic country, but the way we are today is not. Look at what happened in Rivers that you mentioned. Can you call that democracy?
Please, if you are getting any value from this video, kindly subscribe to our channel and share this video. Thanks so much for doing that. Now, I love seeing Peter Obi when he gets confrontational instead of playing defensive. This a good move. I will also encourage him to go a step further to organize his base very well. I know it's not an easy task, but it's a task to be done. I will encourage him to put much efforts in making the obedient movement a formidable force. This is necessary, such that whatever party he will contest in, he already has a solid base. I have heard him say that he doesn't get involved in party politics, but he needs a party to even contest any election in Nigeria. What he's doing by going around Nigeria and helping Nigerians is very good, but he should focus much more on building a political structure. Like I said earlier, I know it's a very difficult task, but it's also a very important task that must be done.
let's reflect on the 2 years into President Tinubu's term, what is known as the midterm. As we look into what he's been doing for the last 2 years, how would you assess his midterm?
Well, Charles, I always don't want to be involved in assessing this present government, because I've always remained consistent that he is doing well. Because what he promised the people is exactly what he's doing. That he will start and continue from where the previous government stopped. And that is doing well, Charles. He can go and use every measure. I said it in this studio before. Somebody who made dollar at 300 and something, 400, is now 1,005. Charles is done fantastic. Same in fuel, same in everything, same in unemployment, everywhere. In terms of democracy, in terms of everything, he's been on the sliding side. And that is doing well. Because that's what he promised.